So this should start streaming at some point. Okay, I see that now this is streaming. All right, let's start putting the chats. 1 second, bear with me. Also, let's put the Twitch chat. Okay. One second. All right, so we're gonna learn Odin. I can do a quick intro. Lately I've been looking at Odin. This is a programming language that is very similar to Go, which is so actually let me start again. So I was actually looking at SIG and I was learning SIG, but I don't know. It's not as ergonomic as you would think it is. It's still like a low-level programming language. Ghosty was created with SIG. Tiger Beetle, which is a database that was designed specifically for finance, like high speed, high volume trading applications, I believe. And so SIG already started making its own name in the programming industry. Now, and it's a low-level systems language. It's a low-level language or a systems language. Same as Rust, same as C, same as C++, and many more. So is Odin. And me going to Claude, or rather than going to Claude, using Claude Code. In reality, I don't have that many applications like at this moment for any of the low-level programming languages, except for creating APIs and doing multi-threading. So I started looking at SIG web frameworks, and by web frameworks I mean like network HTTP frameworks or libraries or packages and whatnot. And there's a couple, they're okay. Also, So sign. Okay, let me have it here. I forget his name. Loris Crow? I think that's the name of the person that does Lars Crow Sig. I forget his name. Yeah, Loris Crow. Okay, so I did get it right. So he is the one that's creating sign, and he's doing an HTML parser in order to create an server side generated static side generated website. And he's been streaming every day on Twitch. What this means is kind of like a Gatsby or a blog or any type of static site generation with SIG. So I think it's really cool. And I'm like, okay, that looks pretty cool, which is why I started to learn SIG and trying to get ahead of myself, or rather be prepared whenever this would be ready. And I said, you know what? SIG definitely has something for creating APIs, and it does. There's some libraries here and there. And I was like, you know what? I know that Odin is also low-level systems programming language. I'm going to see what Claude Code spits out. And I've been looking into this for like a couple of weeks. And I actually created an API, and it's actually really simple. And I've been doing Golang for quite a while now, for a couple of years now. And it's amazing how similar it is to do Go and Odin. And so this, yeah, that's a project. I'll close the project. But actually, you know what? Let me close that. So the cool thing here is that if you compare Odin and Go, they're almost exactly the same. And I actually have a working API. And I want to preface with this, and I want to show you guys what it looks like. But I'm going to be doing a stream on learning Odin, because I feel like learning Odin tonight. And instead of doing it on my own, might as well stream it. So that's why all the preface. Oh, this is the old. There you go. Which, by the way, I did a video on this. Anyway. No, not Go. There you go. So I'm gonna be doing sorry, I'm gonna be doing a video of this. Jesus. I'm a little bit sick. I'm gonna be doing a video about this soon, but I want you guys to see how similar it's crazy how similar the way that you create an API is. So here's Odin. Here's Go. Right? Where you have your main function here. Right? And here just setting up some ports, the logger, the DB connection, the migrations, creating the struct, running the struct, and then logging it in case that it doesn't run. And then running the serve, which this serve is a method, which is above, which is on the same file. It's just a couple of lines above. And in the serve method, I just set up the routers, some middlewares, some what's this called? I forget the name. An API, a rate limiter. There you go. Here we have the routes, right? And I have some graceful shutdown. So in Odin, I mean, I don't have everything created yet, but here in Odin, I have, again, the main function. You also have package, the import. So it's very, very similar. So this logger is not the same, but again, we have like some sort of logging. Here, I'm initializing the store for the coffees API. Then you have to close it. And you're going to see a lot of defer, delete, because you're doing manual memory allocation here. Whenever you close this store, this function here actually deals with the deletion, which is this library, but I'll go into detail later. But yeah, here I'm initializing the store for the coffees. Here I'm initializing the store for the users. And then here I'm setting the data in case that there's no data in the database. And here I'm going to create the multiplexer and the router object. And then I'm going to pass, well, here you have the destroy once the router is used. But here I'm going to pass my routes, the coffee routes and the user routes. And if I go to services and I go to coffees, I have my routes and I have my store. And it's very similar to the way that I have it for Go, where I have my services, I have the users. I kind of wanted to like scroll. Let's see. There you go. I have the users and I have the routes and I have the store. So again, and let's see with Odin, routes and store, routes and store. And actually this works. This is fully working. Oh, it's gonna crash because I don't have Docker Compose running. So let's do Docker Compose up. Normally I would pass the D flag so it can run on the background, but that's fine. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run some test scripts. So for the users, for example, I'm gonna log in. So I'm gonna use, I think I'm using, so this test user 1. Oh, duh, I'm an idiot. I even haven't started the API. Okay, there you go. So here you go. We have the API working. Now I can run the tests. And there you go. We have the token there. And we can use this token. I actually have protected routes, which is, you know, it's really good to be able to test. So let's see if I want to get coffees. So I'm going to do a simple curl here. So curl HTTP localhost 8080. And I have the data there, and I can do JSON pretty print. There you go. And I have the coffees there. It's fully working. I have the create, read, post, update, and delete. So I have all there. Also, Oh my god. Sorry. Also, let me show you the protected route. So if I try to do /coffee-available, authorization header required. So I can do a test coffees and then get available coffee. Invalid token, that's because the token is not valid anymore, the one that I previously put there, because it's kind of hard coded, so I have to copy this and then put it here. No. There you go. So now we'll try that again. And let's do JSON pretty print. There you go. We have our data, which is protected. Oh no, another C++ alternative. I mean, it's not that. And I think that people are sleeping on this. And I know, especially right now in the AI, how do you say, hype that we find ourselves. I think this is very refreshing. And it's not like Zig, it's not like Rust, it's not like Carbon, it's not like whatever programming language you want to name. It's not like that. Like, again, I'm gonna show like how simple like this looks. This kind of like Go, except for like minor differences, which is something that I'm very excited about. Like, this is literally a working API. It's very simple, sure. It's nothing like production tested or rated, but like I have my database set up, I have my routes, I have middlewares. The only thing that I'm missing is a logger, but I'm sure that shouldn't be like too crazy. I'm definitely, so I'm using this as a reference because I created this with Cloud Code, so I don't want to, give the false impression that I created this on my own. Right? Elad Siraru. It's so similar to Go. Like, how freaking cool is this? Like, we have Rust and C++ and C performance, but with the look of Go. Like, how freaking cool is that? Like, I've never been so hyped. And like, people are literally sleeping on this. I don't know how or why. Well, actually, I don't know. First of all, it's not as popular, and because and the owner, so not the owner, sorry, the creator of the programming language is Gingerbill. That's only quite odd functions declaration. Yeah, so let me finish my track of thought, and then I'll answer why it looks like it looks. But before I lose my train of thoughts. Anyway, so I think his name is Bill Hall. This is the video that, like, by the way, Woolcash podcast, amazing podcast. There's a lot of low level programming topics and a lot of great programmers that I'm not gonna paste the link, but Odin, creator, Gingerbill, and this programming language, and state of software. So I think that video is great, not only because of the ideas behind Odin, but he explains how the programming language works, why there's why there are certain ways of declaring functions. So for example, this right here, why is it declared like this? And there's a lot of inspiration through what's the name, Pascal. So he likes the simplicity and yeah, I guess simplicity of Pascal. So there's a lot of like tip hats to Pascal, and let me see if I can find a couple. And those are the scripts. Let me go to the routes. Or maybe here if I find like a pointer, because I'm trying to look for pointers. Actually, let me see if I find the character. Oh, okay. I know where pointers are. Just like in Go, but here in Odin. So here, for example, you see this character right here, like I think people call it carrot, from what I've been listening to interviews. Those are the ways that you declare pointers in Odin. And at the beginning, I was like, I don't like this. It should have been an asterisk, like in every single programming language. But you know what? Like, honestly, it's not a big deal to me. Like, it's very explicit. It's pointing up. So, hey, whatever. I'm fine with it. I'm not like the biggest fan, but that's fine with me. Also, I was not happy with proc. So the way that this works is that you name the function, and this a procedure or a proc. So in Pascal, and it's funny that he didn't use the func keyword, because there's functions in Pascal, but he went with the word procedure. And I guess that's like, he wants to make sure that people know that there's a lot of influence by Pascal. So I think those things are like a couple of tipping hats to Pascal. And if you think about it, like func and proc, they have the same amount of words, right? So 4 for func, 4 for proc. I was like, blah, 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 but whatever. I don't mind. You use def in Python and you're happy with it. So honestly, it's not a big deal to me. But yeah, so those are a couple of things that he chooses to implement into his programming language, which I'm totally fine. Again, the way that you declare things very similar to Go, which I'm very happy. I've been very used to the fact that you don't have to use semicolon, and then using sig, I was like, I don't know, I'm so used to Go. So for me, I don't know, it's those are minor details, but I'm very happy with that. What else that I remember? That there's a couple of things here that I really liked. Oh, something very important. So for example, in Go, see how this is like get coffee, right? Get coffee by ID. That's the name of well, in Go it would be a method, but in Odin there's no such thing as method. So what happens is that, and right now the parser is not the best, the tree sitter. So let me open Windsurf so you guys can have a better view of the highlighting. So what was I looking at? Coffee's routes. Okay. Wait, I could have sworn I installed this, or was this in VS Code? Maybe it was in VS Code, because I don't like the autocomplete sometimes that Windsurf has. So coffees. Yeah, it was in VS Code. Okay, there you go. So let me get rid of Windsurf for now. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Okay, there you go. So get coffee by ID, and just for the sake of an example, right? So normally this would be a method in Go. So I'm gonna show the method in Go right now. There you go. Instead, just picture that this is get coffees by ID, or get user by. There you go. Right. So you have here the struct that this is associated with, and then you do the get user by ID, yada yada yada. So this is a store method. Let's do a handler. Get user by ID. No, get user. Okay, get user by token. There you go. So this is a method of the handler object, right? Which is the handler object. In Odin, that doesn't exist. So what happens? Okay, this may not be the best case, but I want to show how you pass the actual structure here if you want to associate a function or a procedure in this case with an object or struct. Let's call it struct. That'll be easier. Get coffee ID from store. Also the GD is not the best because the LSP is not fully completed, so that's also something that you probably need to think about. Okay, this one doesn't take any arguments, so probably, oh, there you go. So insert coffee. So you see here how we have to pass the actual struct. So you can think of this as a method because you're passing the struct in order to later access the struct properties like the coffee.name, coffee.description, yada yada yada. And by the way, here this deferred delete is to delete memory. So here you're doing memory management. Okay, sorry. Whoa. Okay, I didn't see a lot of questions. Let's go through them. Actually, okay, that's certainly quite odd function declaration. ELAD, the function declaration, actually nice. Is one thing that I like in C is that the function declarations are different than variable count declarations. I'm still learning C++ because pointer is hard for me. Ren, so I don't know if I released this video or not, but I think I recorded a video on pointers and kind of want to redo it, and I did it in Go. And the cool thing about Go is that because it's garbage collected, that means that you don't have to manage memory on your own. It's very easy to learn pointers on your own, but yeah, you don't have to deal with the allocation on your own. And long story short, let me see if I have here, if I can show Go. Let's see. Basics, nope. Learning, nope. YouTube. Okay, no, let me try this. Do I have Go pointers, Golang basics? All right, let's see if I can show this quickly. Okay, so very quickly ran. So a pointer, and there's a really good not lecture, course on front-end masters by Ryan Flory on C. Don't take it if you're not interested in C, by all means. But if you are, he's really good. That said, he says in one of the lectures, that's why I bring that up, a pointer is a fancy way of saying a memory address. New account. Okay, I need the context for this, and since I don't remember, okay, new account. So here I'm returning a account pointer. Okay, so let's disregard this right now because I'll probably have, like, I just opened this right now, so let's leave it like that. Right, so I have my pointers main. What is pointers main? In this specific case, if I recall correctly, if I go to main.go, I just call a function. So for example, this package is a pointer, so I do pointers.pointers main, right? So I'm just calling a function, nothing crazy. Then here I have a name declared, so I can do format print line, this is a name, and pass a name, right? So here I'm just gonna do go run main.go. Wait, where's main.go? The file path. Okay, command main.go. go. Okay. Oh, I need to save this because it's probably pointing to the generics from what I remember. Or unless I'm calling something else. Pointers at main. What? Do I have to? Oh. What is going on? Alright, let me save this. Maybe I didn't save this. Maybe that's why it's... Even though the buffer is showing... Okay, no, now I'm tripping. Okay, so I only have one package. Pointers main. Aha. Okay, so it is pointing somewhere else. So I'm not going crazy. Okay. That is weird. So it's saying that this is the file path here is Golang basics notes.go. Okay. All right. That is weird. I don't know why that's there. And I should have seen that. I'll correct that later. There you go. That's that's what I wanted to show. Sorry. That's what I wanted to show, right? And to make this simple, Ren, I want to show you the address of where this variable is stored. So I'm going to put percent, I think it's %p. Oh, and I need format print. By the way, I'm doing this like at the top of my head. Like I don't have anything of this rehearsed, so bear with me if I like. Okay, there you go. So that's the memory address. So what I can do is call address1 and say this is going to be pointing. So, and I'm gonna make this very explicit. Var address1 will be a pointer of type string pointing to name. I forget if I have to write the asterisk. Okay, so I think that should work. Print. There you go. This is also the same name, and I know that I have like the example written down there, but I'm doing this live because whatever. I changed my what's it called? My new Vim config not so long ago, so it's giving me like a little bit of trouble, but oh well. So I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna use value. Actually no, you know what? Let's print the string. So I want to print the string. So what I'm doing is that should I make type string? Where I think, or should I put it here? Is it on the wrong side, or is it here? Let me see. I do have declare pointer. Yeah. Okay. At name. Yeah. Okay. So I do have the examples there. Holy shoot. Okay. Format printf. Also, let's put a couple of. Okay, I may guide myself from my notes because I don't want to like take too long. Oh. So pointer one. Okay, isn't that? Where do I put the pointer? No, I thought that was fine. Okay, I'm just gonna go like this. I may cheat a little bit. Okay. At least we can agree that we're pointing to the same place, right, Ren? So sorry for confusing myself, but right, this is address 1. So this we're pointing to the same address, right? So this is a pointer to address 1. Or rather, I'm calling this address 1. Now I'm gonna do the following. So address 2. I'm gonna say, I don't know. I'm gonna be also pointing to the same address. So I'm doing exactly the same. So if we print this, like, I'm not even gonna print it because you know that just by doing the same thing, we're gonna get the same thing, right? But what I want to do is print the name through address 2. So address 2. Let me put. So it's the same name. Okay, it's pointing to the same address. That's fine. But I want to print the name. So here I should be getting the name value. No. Okay. No. Well, what am I doing wrong? Print line pointer 3. That's the only thing that I also get confused. There you go. So if I put address 2, which is pointing to this, right? Because here we're saying give me the address where the variable Arturo, my name, is. If I do the dereferencing, I'm gonna get my name. Why do we use pointers, at least in Go, and why is it important? Because of the following. I'm gonna use print line. Actually, let's do the following. I'm gonna say whatever is in the address 1 set it equal to something else. All right, I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna dereference. So whatever's inside of that address, change it to this new string. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna print, rather than the variable, I don't know, address 1, or first I'm gonna go with name. So I'm gonna say print name. Notice how I didn't reference, or I didn't point to name here, but still you're gonna see Santiago. So name changed. See how it says name changed, and now you see Santiago even though I'm referencing name. Why is that? Because here I'm using a pointer to the same place where this is pointing to, right? But again, I'm not using address 1 here to print Santiago. I'm using name. So we have 3 places that reference the same place. Why is that important? Especially when you do when you do multi-threading, that's one way of keeping track of things with pointers. Yeah, essentially you can point to the same place to the same value or the same memory address in different places. So for example, you have like process 1, process 2, process 3, and you want to keep track of, I don't know, time. So the process running at different speeds, and you want to say after 30 minutes, you're going to say time runs out because, I don't know, a customer has to pay. So you keep track of the same variable in 3 different places using pointers, and that way you don't have to create like global variables, I don't know. And yeah, use like, when you do low level, if you don't create when you don't use pointers, you may be creating copies. I can go into tangents, but anyway, in this way, you're actually pointing to the same variable, and you can access it like we did so, and you can modify it, and you can print it too. So here, if I do address 2, we should see the same value, and I actually need to use a pointer here because address 2, remember, that is a pointer, or a fancy way to say it is just a memory address. And there you go. We also have Santiago there. So those are pointers ran. Hopefully this helped a little bit. Sorry on the side tangent, but I think that is cool. So I like to explain things. In my opinion, best combination of high-level abstractions and code running at low-level language levels of performance is Rust. I think that's up to personal preference. I don't agree. Not because I think Rust can be too complex at times, so I don't. One second. I don't love the Rust syntax. Sorry, I had a gum. The gum got stale, so gotta put that gum away. I don't love that Rust can be very complex to work with. The syntax is very. I don't know if terse is the word. Like, it's very verbose, and you have to be like on point on what you write. So I don't like Rust for that. For that specific case. And I've done a little bit of Rust with API. In some gigs, I've had to use Rust not fully because we use Tari, but yeah, I definitely haven't used Rust in production deeply. So, and if you ask me, so this Go, if you go back to Odin, like, man, it's, let me pull out VS Code because it's cleaner, the highlighting. Like, what is not to like? Like, this is so clear. Like, it's Go. It's literally Go. And okay, fine, it's not Go, but Bill, and by the way, I really recommend that you guys listen to what he says. Like, Odin features, memory allocations, yada 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 yada. And the interviewer is really good too. Lukash, I don't know his name, but he's really good too. But he explains every decision taken and why he chose to write the language as it is. So there's a lot of simplicity, but remember that this is a low-level language. Like, this speed competes with Rust's speed. Like, just picture that. As simple as this looks, this competes with Rust and Sig in some regards. But like, he does, what is it, Embergen? Like, he does graphics, and like, I remember seeing a trailer, and like, there's movies that use this, there's video games that use this, and like, man, like, I still don't get why there's not that much hype. Like, this is so good. This is so good. Like, some major companies, and like, all these companies, which are huge companies, use Django, so use the company. That doesn't mean that they use Embergen specifically, but they use Django FX. So Bungie, Meta, Arcane, Unity, like, if you go through these companies, like, it's crazy the amount of companies that use their visual effects. And maybe they don't like use Odin, maybe they do, I have no idea. But the fact that Odin is built into these 3 tools, and that all these huge companies use one of these, like for me that's crazy. Like it really speaks highly of how good this programming language is to do graphics. Obviously, when I'm doing a measly CRUD program, so I'm sure like the complexity of this is nothing compared to what Ginger Bill does daily. I'm sure like what he does is 10 times, 100 times more complex, but I just want to put that in perspective. So let's see, go, stop learning. Rust is awesome, but I just not enjoy coding it. Probably it's just skill issue. No, I don't think it's a skill issue. Like, well, actually, I don't know. But I think people that program in Rust got used to Rust being verbose. It's like, and it's not one-to-one comparable. But for example, Java. I don't mind programming in Java, but having knowing Go and that you can achieve with different patterns, but the same amount of efficiency with Go. Like, I don't see the point in having Java being so verbose and so like unnecessarily complex at times. So yeah, 100 times I prefer writing Go than Java. That's the way I see, at least for now, Odin and Rust. Like, sure, you can program in Rust, and if you get used to it, like, yeah, it must be quite enjoyable when you get things done. But if there's a better and more succinct way of doing things, like, I'll go with that every day. Like, if you ask me to do lead code in Java or lead code in Go, I'll like, and I did my fair share of lead code in Java. I'll do it in Go like every single day, because there's no way I can remember all of the syntax for Java. Again, it's not one-to-one like like the comparison of Java and Rust in terms of veracity, but I like to think of it in that way. What IDE are you using? Hey Chess, so this is Ghosty, and I'm using Tmux and NeoVim, but I don't know. I'm definitely not setting up something right, because this highlighting looks awful compared to VS Code. The VS Code highlighting is way better, so I need to double check that. But yeah, I'm using Ghosty on my terminal, which is what I use every day. And normally what I do, so this is actually, I zoomed in 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe 7. And what I do is that I use Claude. I'm not showing any keys, right? Yeah, no. Okay, good. Don't want to be like the Primogen where he did. Anyway, so what I normally do is, the way that I code. I type my stuff here, and then I go back to code here. That's how I built this API. I'll be honest, like I haven't fully explored Odin, but now that I see this, like I'm going to commit, and I'm going to do, so currently I have this application. Yeah, I'm going to redo the backend in Odin, because I can do it, and this is a side project, and I'm not going to use Claude Code. I'll use Claude AI whenever I get stuck, but I don't want to have AI helping me writing any of Odin in the rewrite, because that's how I learned better. So let's close this. There you go. So that's my ID, Chess. Chess looks like NeoVim. Yes, it is NeoVim. Hello, Abinef. I'm liking the syntax. I might give this language a try. Wow, that's amazing. Honestly, people should give a try to Odin. Wait, let me zoom back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There you go. It's very, actually let's do one less. It's very clean. It looks like Go. Like, guys, it's just like, I cannot understand how people are not so hyped about this. It looks like Go, and it's C++ performant, like Rust performant. And yeah, that's like literally you do delete, and that's it. With delete, you let's see if I can delete. It will free the underlying data of the past string. So like you free memory like that. Like how freaking cool and simple it is. I'm sure you can shoot yourself in the foot maybe here and there. I haven't tested this. Like I need to actually do my own API from scratch so I can see myself like, oh, I forgot to delete X, Y, and Z, and then see what happens. See the seg faults that I get. So I haven't gotten there, but like at first glance, it looks so simple. Like literally as it is, I can put a React application and have this. Again, this is a very simple CRUD. But that said, even though if it's a simple CRUD, which by the way, this is using a C library for Postgres. So I think it's cool that you can import a foreign, so foreign import library for Postgres. But here, look, it's kind of like Go. That's how I have my Go set up. You know, I have my my queries here. And this is my seed. Yeah, create tables. That's my seed query. Here I have my select, and actually I started because I don't like sometimes that it's all in one line. So I like to put this in 2 lines or multiple. So I like to do the following. So there you go. It's a little bit cleaner, not super clean, but cleaner. Then you have this PQ clear, which is the free memory, I believe. PG result, yeah. So definitely, I aided myself from Cloud Code to do this. So the Postgres clear, which is a procedure that frees the memory, you know, does that. Thanks for the explanation and pointers. Yeah, of course, Ren. My pleasure. Well, by the way, I haven't seen if anyone on YouTube is watching. Oh, 14 people are watching. Oh yeah. The YouTube is the one. Sorry, the Twitch is the people that are a little bit quiet. So I have one viewer in Twitch. That's fine. Oh well. Anyway, so just wanted to give like that context on Odin. And right now, I mean, I don't know Odin, but I'm sure that it's very similar in some ways to Golang. Like I already started creating packages. So for example, here I could put strings if I make a directory, of course. There you go. So strings.odin. It's funny because I'm so used to writing Go. So proc. Actually, it goes the other way around. So it's like, what is it? Like for example, strings example proc. Right, something like that. And then I think he also uses like format print low. So that's something that I don't. Oh, there you go. Okay, so the LSP did work there, and it did import. Okay, that's cool. So now let's see if I go to main. Let's get rid of that. Let's bring the strings. Oh, because it's calling. Okay, that's weird. I may wanna change the name of this. I don't know if it'll collide. Yeah, it may collide. Chapter 1. Normally, chapter 1 is kind of like the strings, the primitives. So let's see. I need to change the package here. Chapter 1. Also notice that in Odin, at least the examples, a lot go by the snake case, which I think is fine. Definitely, I got used to camel case, but honestly, nothing too important. Chapter 1. Huh. Is it like import C1? Okay, that's interesting. So, what if I want to do unnamed? Do I have to default? Okay. Alright, that's fine. So then I can do Odin main.odin, Odin run. Oh, there's something I also remember. I think I have to do like -F. And I think it needs the... No, that should be it. File. Odin build file out. Well, here I have the build. Let me see what I did on the CRUD, because I don't want to like ask AI yet. Wait, don't I have a makefile here? Duh, this Go. Jesus. Run, Odin run. Expert library. Oh, that's true. Okay, so I can do that. Okay. Alright, so that's running. Let's clear all that. Odin run. So you can do that, or I remember that you can specify a single file. There you go. That's what I was looking for. I mean, I like the dot, but just a little bit annoying. Okay. Let's see. Damn, it's almost been an hour. So I wanted to do a quick stream. I may go to sleep soon. Let's see. Alright, intro. No, I want to go straight into the code. Okay, that's not very interactive. Let's see if there's like a learn Odin. Lessons. You can, if you're new to Odin, start here. Using relay with Odin, you can find. Oh, okay. Let's see that. First programs. Create a directory folder. Already done that. Okay. Yep, that works. Yeah, that works. I like to declare the file, but whatever. Terminal has 3 communication channels that use to communicate with area in this case. Alright. Spend some time to get familiar with the error messages. Why? Well, this is true. There are some example questions that you can ask test by modifying the code. What is it? Just package main to package loop. I'll go through error messages on my own. Okay, this is very basic. I'll go through this on my own, but okay. Where the program that prints your name? Okay, done. Like easy. From 1 to 10. Okay, this is like, okay, print, format print. Okay, think about the program I would like if I asked you to print out the numbers 1 to 1,000. Okay, this is like the pre-intro for loops. Fixed errors you can find in this program. So the single quotes here. The program below uses the concept we haven't learned yet. The program and based on the output, try to reason through what might be happening. What? Okay, this is interesting. I don't see anything wrong here. Format print printf line. That doesn't, yeah. That's probably it, right? Oh, shoot, never mind. That does exist. This one. Odin. Printing string. I don't see there. Oh, I thought, damn it. I thought there was an error here. There's no, okay. Okay, it is sensitive language. I was just definitely trying. Actually, I'm sure we'll get an error. Yeah, okay. Fix errors following program. Yeah, sensitive case. That's wrong. Following error has. Proc goes the other way around. This missing. I know how to write hello world. Me too, Sucknan. We are polyglots. Isn't it amazing? I know, like this is so basic, but I feel that if you don't go through the basics, sometimes you miss like some nuances. And if you like go into like the quote unquote more advanced features, then you go like, this is not working. Why is that not working? And then you realize that you missed some basics. So I'm just skimming through this though. Like I'm not gonna write this because they're very very straightforward. But at least I want to make sure that I skim through this. What does the following program do? So addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Boom. Okay. Once you run it, try changing the numbers 5 and 3 and run it again. Notice how the output changes. Yeah, different variables. Okay. What if I change number 3 to a 0? Well, yeah, multiply by 0, and here you get an error because you cannot divide by nothing. Right? I think that's the division is the one that you cannot divide by anything. So I'm just gonna do. I do miss my Golang snippets. Was it 5 divided by 0? Yeah, there you go. but you can do 0 by 4, which is still 0. Yep, okay. Hey, so my math is not bad. Okay, what does the following program do? So here we have, how do you call it, comparing operators? I forget the word, but yeah, if price is this, that, so this logic flow, yada, yada, yada. Okay, you're going to learn how to use if, done. Okay, so for example, this is basics. For I in 1, 2, and I think it iterates all the way to 10. So this is cool, because Go doesn't have this. So let's try that. This probably shouldn't be called strings. Okay, strings example, that's fine. I'm gonna leave that there. For loop example proc. So for I in, what is it, let's say 0 all the way to 40, print line, oh, this is format, and on main, let's change this for loop example. All right, prints. Does it print all the way to 0? I mean, starting from 0, it should. Cool. Okay, that's nice. That's sweet. Okay, for loops. Okay, based on your output, would you count from 5 to 10? Happens to change to less than, so here it stops at 9. Oh, cool. Okay, this, I'm guessing it goes backwards. That is very cool. All right, so let first slice. Let's do 15. I like that. That is very simple. This is very nice. Let's do backwards. Invalid interval range. Why? I have what happens if the first number is greater than the second, like 10? Wait, I thought this was. Okay, guys, we cannot do that. Invalid. Wait, hold on. Maybe the LSP is wrong. Okay, no, the LSP is not wrong. We're going to look into what for is and how to use it very soon. For now, just make some mental notes about what you have noticed about it so far. Okay, so obviously there must be a way to go in first, but this is not the way to do it. So, bookmark. What is it? Folder of execution. What is this? Single line comments. Okay, this is just learning how to comment. This I don't like. I don't get the point. What is the default order of execution from top to bottom? We'll put a star on this. Use multi-line comments. Okay, I already know how to do this. Try the following program. Is its output the same or different from the one in exercise 16? No way. Can you do this? That is freaking cool. So if you have a string, so for C in, what is it? So this A char wait. Oh, I forgot the 2 dots. Duh. That's freaking cool. Okay, that's really cool. Wait, let's leave. What was it? Numbers? Actually, let me print that. Okay, let's do that. And let's change this to 1, this to 10. Okay. Check for loop in reverse. Okay. That's done. Alright, so chapter 1 done. You can use the output to try to figure out how the program works. I mean, yeah, this is simple. It's going through A all the way to Z. What I think it's cool. Let's see if I can do the following. Name Arturo. Name 0 dot dot. That's probably not Lego, but let's try. Here goes nothing. Damn it. Okay. Oh. Wait. Last equals len name -1 name wait, these are char characters. Wait, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Alright, definitely this is not what I was looking for, but later I do want to check string manipulation and string iteration. So anyway, let's go through the next chapter. So first, programs, variables and conditionals. Actually, command line arguments, loops. I want to see this because I'm gonna finish this soon, so might as well go through this. Okay, want to go from 1 to 10. Okay, done. 10 to 1 instead. Let's try changing the range. Okay, done this, got an error. So that doesn't work. We have other possible cases as well. I want to count up by 2. So unfortunately, we have another version of the for loop that allows us to do that. Okay, so this is like your typical for loop. Alright, so I was excited for the other, but okay, the classical for loop works, that's fine. Exactly like Go. Program that enters an indefinite loop if you condition modifier doesn't match to do continue. Okay. Okay, yeah. And this goes in increments of 5, that's fine. The fact that we might change the modifier statement is one of the reasons why I generally avoid checking for equality in the condition statement as in the following. Yeah, this is not great because if it jumps by like in 3s, or in odds, then you're screwed. Yeah, exactly. Modifier expressions do not have to use plus or negative. Oh yeah, times 2. So this goes exponentially up, this goes exponentially down. Exponentially? Linearly? Exponentially. I don't know. Well, I don't know if exponentially is a word. It is? I think it is. I don't know. I'm too tired, but I think it is. I'll double check that later. Okay. Oh yeah, this declared. I mean, inside of the for loop scope. So this undefined, undeclared name. Yeah, makes sense. This comes with it's not going to. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Now this will print what, 0? Yeah. Yeah, this scope, very basic. Okay. Operator is different than a loop. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Hold on. Okay, that's fine. Right. Okay, using the C-stop for loop can make the counter variable available after the loop, but we will have to change the Morse into an equal to avoid creating a temporary counter variable. Oh yeah. Because essentially you are assigning this to this global. So rather than this Morse is just, where's the Morse? Here. You're creating a new variable here. Here you're just referencing this one. Okay, yeah. Also basics. Yeah, basics. Name of the counter variable. So far as the counter variable stands for iterator, very common. Here I've used count. Wait, what? I is equal to count? I don't know if this is an error or this is just 0. Since count is undefined, but I'm guessing it has a 0 value, a nil value, kind of like in Go. Actually, I want to try this. Let's comment this out. What was it? For I equals count as long as count is less than 10. Count plus format print count. Why is this not supported? Go supports it. Even Go gets with it. Odin should do that. Okay, that's something that I'm not too excited about. But I can leave with that. What was it? I mean, then shouldn't this give an error? declare name count. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I don't know if that's a typo on the... Like, I don't know if he meant to put this. Well, actually, yeah, I'm not sure. So far, variable stands for iterator. Yeah, no. If for loops and just variables, you can call them whatever you want. We'll be looking at those later. We've used count as a variable name instead of I, as long as we make sure to change all the places where I to count. We are fine. Yeah, I don't know. This gives me an error. I'll check this out later. Indefinite loop, so this kind of like a while for Go. So here you have conditionals, so if a condition is met, then you break, otherwise you increase. So I guess that they don't have, Odin doesn't have the keyword while, kind of like Go, which I also like because it's the same, so that's fine. Skipping to the next loop iteration, continue, yeah, same thing. Loops within loops, so you have a nested loop, that's fine. To go through graphs or matrices, matrices, I don't know how you say it, but yeah, that's fine. Try it out, try to understand how exactly the multiplication tables program works. To help you out, you can temporarily comment out bits of code to see what happens. Modify the code and study the results. Pay close attention to where I'm using print and where I'm using print line. It's just done by is it done arbitrarily, or is there a specific reason for why I sometimes use one or the other? Okay. Yeah, I think it like, because when you print, this will print like side by side, and then once you're done, you do a print line. So essentially, he's doing 12 rows of 12 columns. Yeah, but yeah, I've done this multiple times, especially with lead code. I'm not interested, but you know what? I'll do that. Why not? So what was it? Print format printf. For D, what is it, like a double? And then, so we're multiplying here I times j. Here they put RZ for row and column. Oh, the comma. And then here I have format.print line. That way we have that skip of line. This I'm gonna comment this. Check, not sure if typo. Okay. Yeah, there you go. There's your 2D for loop and 2D array or whatever. Yeah. There should probably be a left pipe symbol here, but anyway, I'll carry on. Try to understand exactly how the multiplication table works. Already read that. Breaking and continuing with labels. So this is just like more fancy scenarios where you break. So now we have learned about outer and inner loops. Let's rewrite a program from earlier in this lesson in order to understand break and continue. Oh shoot. Okay, that is new. So you put like a, what is this, like a tag, and then you put break out of outer. Like, is this a label? Notice how I has gone all the way to 1,000. What could that be? Innermost loop, but we want to break it out of the outer for a loop. Okay, so essentially what this is saying is the break goes only in the inner, not the outer. So therefore the solution is called a label. So this the label, so you can choose whether to break from the inner or from the outer loop with the labels. So actually this is a good example. For loop with labels. For row 1 all the way to 6. For column and 1 all the way to 8. Then I'm just gonna put format dot print line outer, and now we're gonna say row times column, and then if R times C is bigger than 36. Oh, let's see if we can do one line. Break outer. Okay. So that's very similar. Okay, yeah, somewhat similar to Go in terms of the if statements. All right, so that's interesting. Oh, because the check goes before. I mean, the check goes after. If the check would go above, it would reach 40. There you go. Okay, that works. That is cool. Iterating over an array. So very similar to Go. Yeah, this is the same, so I'm not even going to go through it. For n in obs, this is really cool. This is kind of like the range of Go, but this is more idiomatic in my opinion. For n in, it's kind of like list comprehension for what Python has, but in Odin, which is low level. So how cool is that? So you can do pound reverse. Okay, that's really cool. Hold on. Where is this for loop stuff? Here. No, not there. Okay, I guess I didn't write it. For well, if you can do it for arrays, I'm guessing you could do it for just ranges. For I in 10 all the way to 1. Nah, that would have been cool. Okay. Guess you cannot do this for a range. Iterating over string for R. So this is like char in the string. Flow control, flow statement, summary. Nah, face boss, that's fine. All right, so we got with for loops. We got done with for loops. Okay, so streaming is already an hour and a half. Thank you guys for being here. I'm gonna stop the stream now. Yeah, these are very simple. I want to go through something a little bit more complex. So raylib. Maybe do some raylib later. Get some like video game going. That'll be pretty cool, I feel. Learn Odin raylib. Section 2 raylib. I wonder if there's like a blog. Let's write some Odin code. Okay, so this does look like blog oriented. So next time I'm gonna be following this. Window should close. So if the windows should not close, then begin drawing, clear background, and drawing. That's funny. This is, oh, is this Pascal case? I want to see where he declares this. RL, vendor raylib. Raylib declares it this way. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the stream here. Thank you guys. I'll catch you